All right. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Run.Down. I'm your host, Iris. Joining me is Luca at Nickstape _ on Twitter. And this is a good game to be on the Run.Down for. This was a great game from the Knicks. Great game to watch, honestly. Back and forth. A lot of high intensity action. I thought really good play from a lot of different players. And fortunately, the Knicks were able to come out with a win. Knicks were able to win the game 114-113 off of a clutch pair of threes from OG and Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson put us up, I think, what,
It
two?
was, yeah, it was, no, it was 1 point.
Oh, yeah,
It
he put us up
was,
one, and then John Morant had an and one, and
yeah,
then
111,
OG
110.
and then OG hit a three to put us up one again.
Yeah.
And then Mikhail with the game-winning stop on John Morant, and Mitch with the box out, and the Knicks were able to bring it home. Great game, one of the best games of the season, I would say by far.
hmm
Back and forth action. The Knicks didn't take the lead until the fourth quarter, um, which kind of shows you that they were really fighting for this game. They were fighting for this all game,
Yeah.
and they kept it close. They chipped away, and they were able to come through, man. And I really do think it starts with OG. He wasn't. He was steady this game, and I think a lot has been said about OG being up and down in terms of his like engagement defensively and like his ability to perform offensively. But today he did it. 7 of 17 from the floor, 4 of 10 from three, hit a free throw. He was very active defensively. This is probably one of his best defensive games in a couple weeks, I want to
Yeah.
say. I
hmm
thought I thought he had Jaren Jackson Jr. in hell. Um, he held Jaren Jackson Jr. to 18 points and 16 shots. I thought he was active. I thought he was getting after it. I thought he did everything the Knicks needed him to do, and he was engaged in ways that have been hard to come by this season for him. So I thought it was a really strong game from him. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, the numbers don't exactly jump off the page, right? 19 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 stocks. 10 threes is big, I think, to get the
Yes.
volume up, especially with the way that this game was flowing. I think, like, the Knicks really needed to try and match the Grizzlies' pace, and I think they did a good job of at least getting the volume up tonight. They didn't shoot incredibly well, 13 of 38 on the night from three, 34%. But OG gets up 10, Mikhail gets up 5, Jalen gets up 6, Cat gets up 5, Deuce gets up 5, hits 3. You'll take that volume on these types of nights when you need to just find any way to claw back. And getting the volume up also led to some offensive rebounds. We'll talk about the rebounding, I'm sure, tonight. Wasn't wasn't exactly great. Um, but to get back to OG, he was just enormous. I thought he set the tone in the first quarter, despite the rest of the team not exactly playing incredibly well defensively. I thought he really held his own against Jaren Jackson. Didn't really let him get anything. You saw it was, I believe, it was late in the fourth quarter. This the strip of Jaren Jackson that led to the chaotic play with Deuce and Jaren Jackson on the floor and whatever happened after that. But he just made him uncomfortable all night, and I think you really see that in how his box score looks. Like you said, 18 points on 16 shots.
Yep. Um, I also want to talk about Mikhail's defense. I thought Mikhail's defense was really strong. I think they shot like shit from three. I
hmm
thought Cat's defense was poor, but I thought the Wings had probably played their best defensive game as a tandem. Um,
Yes, I'd definitely say so.
yeah, because both of them did their job. Both of them were able to dominate their individual matchups. Both of them were swarming. Both of them were active defensively. Both of them, yeah, no, not multiple steals, but Mikhail had multiple blocks. OG had multiple stocks. I thought it was a really strong performance from both of the Wings defensively.
Yeah, and I mean you can kind of see that in the pair that they defended, perimeter numbers too, right?
Yep.
Jaren was 1 of 5 from three. Ja was 0 of 6 from three. Ja was 9 of 22 on the night, despite his heroics late, 7 of 7 from the free throw line. But he also had 4 turnovers to 7 assists. So, like you said, they did a really good job tonight. And I thought it was a big reason why we were able to stay in this game in the first half and eventually claw back for the win.
Yeah. Defensively, I think they got after it on the perimeter, and the paint is a different story. It's a cat. But yeah, I thought defensively they were able to really provide a bit of a spark. I also think someone like Deuce McBride and Landry Shamet, I want to say as well,
Yeah, he had a
were
giant
really,
three.
really good defense. I thought they were really good defensively. I thought Shamet was insane for that fourth quarter. Like that third quarter stretch in the fourth quarter to cut the lead. I thought Shamet played some of the best basketball he's played all season.
Yeah.
I thought he was active. I thought he looked confident. That three that kept the game close, I thought that was huge for the Knicks to make sure they stayed in the game. I thought, yeah, Shamet played a really good, strong game. I thought Deuce had an incredible first half. Second half was a little muted, but the first half was really good in like keeping the Knicks close. Yeah, like this was probably one of the better bench games of the season. They even played five bench guys. Precious even had a stint, and I thought Precious' stint was pretty solid. He didn't really do too much spectacularly, but I thought his defense was good. And yeah, I don't think you really talk about the bench without Mitchell Robinson. I thought Mitchell Robinson was gigantic for this team. Just having his presence around, I think, helped the Knicks defense so much. I thought Mitch looked good. He had a take at the top of the key that he was able to dribble into like an open lane dunk. He had a couple takes around the rim.
He made layups, man.
Yes, he made layups. He had a shot in the post. He made that as well. It looks a little uncoordinated, but it went in. He looks good. I think he looks good. He played 12 minutes, which is really good to see.
He was a plus 11. Sorry to cut you off in 12 minutes.
Yeah, like I just thought he gave them the presence that they haven't had all season in terms of rim protection, aside from like a couple of minutes of hug 40. And the team played so much better when they had their rim protection. Now I think it's a matter of sprinkling in Cat next to him and ultimately having them play together. But yeah, like you can clearly see why even when the Knicks were like thinking about moving him, they never really pulled the trigger this deadline because clearly he he he's that impactful. And before we keep going, some for the ad read. Okay. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform, your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. Ad read's done. Back to Mitch.
Perfect. Back to Mitch.
Yeah, I thought his presence was great. I thought his rim protection was a little shaky, but I thought the fact that he was there as a presence definitely affected some shots at the rim. Yeah, man, he looked good. He looked good. He looked spry. He got winded quick, but
expected.
Yeah,
I will say
he hasn't played organized basketball in nearly a year, so
it's just really good to see him back out there, man. Like seeing the brief highlights of him from last year's playoffs and then again in the 2023 playoffs, it just reminds you of how little we've really seen of him consistently over stretches of the season. And tonight reminded us how much he's been missed, right? You saw the versatility he gives you defensively, even without the Cat Mitch pairing, which we didn't really see until I believe it was like late in the fourth quarter. We saw a couple minutes of that. But you saw how it opened up guys like OG and McHale to play more freely on the perimeter, play a little bit more of the ranger safety role than focusing so much on stopping the point of attack because you know you have Mitch's backup there. You saw him on the glass. He had 5 boards, only 1 offensive rebound, but I thought he battled all night. You could tell he's a little bit off in his jump. Also kind of coincides with what you said about being a little bit off on the rim protection tonight. But I think that stuff will just come back with time. Like you said, good to see him look athletic and spry and he just looks like he's moving well, and it's good to see him back out there, man. I'm excited to see him continue to get more comfortable with the team. I mean, in his first game tonight, he looked pretty damn comfortable, I'd say. Maybe less so offensively, but he looks pretty damn good there. And again, plus 11 and 12 minutes just shows you the impact there.
Yeah. He's always been a very impactful player. It's just the injuries. But when he's healthy, he makes a difference for this team. And the versatility with his rim protection and his ability to let other guys do more defensively, because now they have that rim protection, is going to be crucial for this team, especially in this upcoming stretch. Honestly, aside from that, I mean, I thought Jalen had a really solid game, but that's just kind of Jalen. 23 points and 23 shots is a lot to write home about, but I thought he had a really solid game. Carl less so. I thought Carl looked kind of flustered by Jared Jackson Jr., which, to be expected, that's the Defensive Player of the Year. But yeah, I thought the other guys won this game for the Knicks more than I think their two stars did.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you touched on it earlier. The bench, one of our best bench performances of the year. I mean, Deuce gives you 17 on 11 shots, 5 from 3, 4 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals. That's pretty huge. Campaign didn't play that often, only hit 1 shot, but I'd argue it was one of the bigger shots of the game.
Yeah, it cut the lead to 1.
That right wing 3 to cut the lead to 1. I believe Taylor Jenkins called a timeout after that shot.
Yes.
We touched on Mitch. We talked about Shamet. I think his 3 cut the lead to 3 or 1. Was it in the fourth quarter? The 1-3 that he hit?
Shamet?
Yes.
I think it was in the fourth. It was. I think we had just lost the lead, and then I think Shamet's 3 put us back up 1.
Yeah, I mean, so he hits a big shot. You're just seeing these guys take advantage of their minutes and of the time they're getting. I mean, especially Campaign hasn't been playing as much since Deuce's kind of gotten his minutes elevated, but just energy, man. Plus 6 and 12 minutes, despite missing 4 of your 5 shots, is pretty good. Deuce just continues to be a pest defensively. I mean, you're seeing how big his shot making is for this team. You see how much he elevates the offense when he comes in into the starting lineup and gets implemented instead of Josh or Mikal. You see how much he opens up offensively, and I don't know. Despite some of his shortcomings, shot creating and self creating, he puts up shots and high volume threes in his limited-ish minutes, which we need. So I'll continue to take what he gives us.
I just want him to be comfortable shooting.
Yeah.
I just want him to not hesitate and then turn it into a mid-range pull-up when it's unnecessary. I thought he had some really good takes around the basket. I thought he just played confident. And
he punched it on Santi.
Yeah, he's been trying to do that all season. And he finally got one to go with somebody around him, which is really nice to see. Yeah, when he plays confident, it really changes the team dynamic because he's not like a microwave scorer, but he is somebody who can put up points. We saw it last season. So yeah, I just want him to be confident. The mid range is automatic. I think he's shooting last time I checked in the short mid range, he was shooting over 60%, and then in the long mid range, he was shooting over 40%. So he's been one of the better mid range shooters in the entire league.
Yeah, I'll check overall real quick.
Yeah, the touch around the basket in semi-transition has been solid.
Yeah.
The mid-range has just been automatic. The three-point shot has been solid. He can do everything you need him to do offensively. He just needs to trust his process. And yeah, I think he had a really solid game. I've been really hard on him. Very critical of him because I know he's capable of doing these things, and he just was not doing it last year. And it feels he's getting back to what he was last year, which is really good to see.
Yeah. I mean, he's 51% from mid-range on the year. That's 93rd percentile in the NBA. You take that. He's right up there with Mikal, who's at 51.5% from mid, 94th percentile. To your point, not a microwave scorer by any means, but as you see more of his shots go in, he'll continue to just build on his confidence, which I feel like it never wavers too much. To your point, you'd like to see him pump fake less, and honestly, I think you'd like to see the entire team pump fake less, despite
Yes.
getting up 43s near. I think we could get up more quality threes if we don't pump fake on first opportunities as often. But man, you really enjoy a win like tonight, especially when it feels like you might have snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. It's really hard to come back against a team as highly paced and explosive as Memphis, and we did a job tonight. So I think it's something to be proud of.
Yeah. I also want to say that I thought Tibbs had coached a really solid game.
Tibbs coached his ass off.
Yes, I thought the rotations made sense. I thought the minutes distribution was positive, especially he was dealing with foul trouble.
Yep. Cat had 4 early. Josh had 4 early.
Yeah, Josh had 5 like early in the third, which was insane.
Josh was tweaking tonight. We can talk about that.
Yeah, he's been tweaking since the All-Star break. He's been tweaking. I mean, he hit his free throws. He hit his free throws. I can't complain. He hit a 3 too, above the break 3, straight away. That was like the first points of the game for the Knicks, I think. So
it was 6 assists. We'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, like I thought his activity was great. I just thought his takes around the basket and like that random ass mid-range shot he put up in the clutch.
Oh my god,
that was something else. But
that was.
I could use better words. I just won't use it. But again, I thought good activity was fine. I thought the activity was good. Yeah, what a game. What a game.
What a game.
All right, let's get to some comments. Chris Bernard, bro, can they please stop with this? Just win or lose by 8 every game. I can't keep doing this last second heart attack. You root for the Knicks. This is the experience, for better or for worse. Yeah. This is going to be the experience.
I mean, even in the hell days, they would pull the fake comeback shit all the time.
Yeah, so like fake comebacks are in the Knicks' blood. Yes,
we're seasoned to this. Now we just make real comebacks, which is really, really nice.
I will take real comebacks. Especially because like they really hadn't had a lot of comeback games.
No,
there aren't a lot of games I can think of where it's like, oh, they were down big and then they were able to kind of like come out like the Rockets game.
Yeah.
And I mean, like the Wizards OT game where Brunson dropped 55. But other than that,
maybe Miami really early in the season when Cat dropped 40 and 10. Maybe, but like we just don't get enough volume up consistently enough to make big comebacks. But I feel like that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah. I thought the process was really good for the team tonight.
Yes.
Which is really positive to see because they have been lacking process for the most part.
Mm-hmm. They almost hit 30 assists again tonight. Only turned the ball over 8 times. 29 assists to 8 turnovers. Like, that's just good to see. They got up 43s. Made 13. You have to match explosiveness somehow.
Yeah, this is the most like cohesive they looked in forever. Just because like the ball was moving around, I thought for a good bit in this game. I thought the defense was on a string. I thought they just looked like they have played together the entire season.
Nice to see.
Which is good. Really good to see. Like finally, it's been almost 60 games. I'm glad you guys like know that you can play together. But yeah. Gotta get it off to Brunson for not forcing again and making the good read from Kevin Pierre. Yeah, I thought Brunson was gonna go for a floater there. I thought he was gonna try to look to foul bait, and he made the right read. He passed it to OG, and OG stuck it. I did not think that shot was going in when he took it. I was very like, okay, well, I mean, like at least he made the right read, but it went in, and I'm happy about it. So,
I mean, I just talked about pump faking. He pump faked on that exact 3 at least like twice tonight. The right where, or I guess it was left wing sidestep. He didn't pump fake or sidestep this time. Just drilled it right over Santi's face. And also, I'm watching the replay right now. Really, really nice pass from Jalen. Double clutch to get under Santi's double. But just like I did not expect. I don't know what I expected on the final possession. It was kind of just like, please fucking find a way to win because the Grizzlies shot 4 of 31 from three, and if you lose that game, I don't really know what to say.
Yeah, like you would have just wasted a lot of defensive effort that I think the Knicks have rarely shown this season. So when you do get a game like
Yeah.
that, like I would probably try to lock in.
Like, please win. You held the Grizzlies to 113 points.
Yeah, especially like, and you basically match their bench, which is their big strong suit. So
yeah, I mean their bench had 33 points. Ours had
34.
34. Yeah.
Yeah, like we outscored the Memphis Grizzlies bench, and like their bench is stacked. Like that's the thing, like their bench is stacked. It's
their bench could like three of their guys could start.
Yeah, like
on teams.
so like Santi Aldama would start.
Maybe all of them could start, honestly, depending on who we're looking at.
Yeah, like Vince Williams Jr., Santi Aldama, Brandon Clark would probably start on like a low end team.
Yeah,
and Luka
Scottie Pippen, maybe on like the Wizards.
Hey, respect Bob Carrington. But
no, I like Bob. That's my guy.
Yeah, but yeah, really, really encouraging performance. Man, I just really can't get over the fact that like we played 10 guys.
Shout out to Tibbs, man.
Tibbs finally like coached the way I think a lot of us have wanted to coach all season.
He saw the light. He was like, "Oh shit, people are talking about me getting fired. Gotta lock in again."
It's always when he's like about to lose his job. He is the most dedicated. Like he loves the dude works like he's getting a pension. It's just like I'm just gonna do just enough, and then like when performance evals come in, I'm like the best worker in the company. But okay,
it actually never fails. Right, 2023, we get blown out against Dallas. It was the Cam Reddish performance, and then get blown out by the Cavs. We rip off that win streak, make the playoffs, beat the Cavs in the first round. Like, it actually never fails. Somehow keeps his job after 2021. Makes it happen. I don't know. I think that is another conversation for another day, but I'm glad to see that he's not the old dog that can't be taught new tricks like people thought he was when we first signed him to his contract.
Yeah.
Like he's very clearly shown that he's willing and able to adapt.
You just have to give him like every card in the fucking day.
Yeah, I was gonna say you'd really, really like to see him be more proactive with his adjustments. But I guess that will be what decides his fate in the end.
Yeah. Kevin Pierre, for a guy who was supposed to eat glass, Cat doesn't box out at all. I think Cat is usually like better at defensive rebounding. Today he was just off, and it probably has something to do with the knee, and probably has something to do with like ED playing. But like,
yeah,
he definitely looked a little gimpy.
He looked a little injured. He looked a little like he didn't really want to handle Edie and Jaren Jackson's physicality down low. Can I really blame him? Not exactly. Edie is kind of just allowed to get away with what the fuck ever he wants. There was a play early in the game. I actually think it was like the dynamic defensive highlight or whatever that MSG does. And you just like very clearly saw Edie bar down Cat's left arm when going for a rebound, and he gets blocked. And it's just like, at a certain point, this is why we have Mitch as well, right? Like, Mitch can easily come in. I thought he really battled well against Memphis's bigs. The wings, honestly, they didn't corral a lot, but I thought they did a good job rebounding. Jalen had 7 rebounds somehow. He was very good on the glass tonight. And yeah, despite Cat looking, maybe less physically imposing than we're used to, we were still able to overcome it with some help from
Jalen
the rest
had
of the roster.
4 stocks.
what is wrong with him? I don't know. Yeah, he had who did he block tonight?
23 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, and what the fuck?
This is one of those Jalen. Like, this is how you know his bad games aren't bad. It's just like 20 points on 18 to 20 shots, and it's just like 6 assists, 6 boards, multiple stocks.
The floor is insanely high. It's
It
just
makes no
insanely high.
sense.
I think this is just why he's been one of the 5 best players in the league this season. I think he's deserving of first team All NBA. I think he's gonna get it.
He better fucking get it.
Despite the fact that LeBron James somehow found the fountain of youth, and by the fountain of youth, I mean Balco, and he's playing out of his fucking mind. But yeah,
Braun saw his fucking replacement popping up and was like, "I got to show out for the young kid one time.
just to let him know I can still do it.
Turn back the clock a little bit."
I still got it. But yeah, oh my god, I don't even know how the hell he got 4 stocks, but sure. Let's see.
It's like
Mitch is
there's not.
Mitch is
And Mitch is back. Mitch
yeah,
is our defensive anchor.
I just think the defense works so much better with rim protection, and Cat has just not provided that all season. And if the Knicks have rim protection, then it's like you have a bunch of swarming wings and guys who can defend at the point of attack, and it makes so much more sense. But it's just the fact that after that initial action, Cat is just so vulnerable when he has to play 2. Like,
Yeah,
teams just run pick and roll at Cat, and they try to get him involved either like when he has to guard the roll man, like he struggles. But when he guards from the switch, when you like switch the pick and roll, he's good because he works on the perimeter.
like
So,
I mean, I know Mitch is back now, and like the immediate thought is the Cat Mitch lineup, starting lineup, and we just move Josh to the bench. But like, do we ever think? I don't know. Deuce can't really. He wouldn't be able to help that well on covering Cat's mistakes. Like that's the issue. Because Cat is such a gigantic part of the defensive scheme and directing kind of how the offense flows, the opposing offense flows, it's really hard to kind of just like stick an off-ball defender guy in to help alleviate that. Like my immediate thought is if we still had IQ, right? Like his stunts and off-ball defense is just some of the best in the league still. But like, hopefully the Mitch Cat lineups can start to alleviate some of that. Like you said before, get Cat some more switches. I think he's more agile on his feet than people think. And yeah, just excited to see where the defense goes. I think tonight was a pretty good start, holding the Grizzlies to 113 points on. I don't even know if they shot that well. No, they shot 13% from 3, 47 from the field. They were kind of just jacking up threes a little bit.
It wasn't a lot of smart shots. I don't think it was a lot of smart shots.
No. I mean, yeah, Bane and Josh shot 18 of – actually, not as horrible as it looks. 18 of 39. Bane's kind of carrying that. Didn't Josh shoot like 9 of 25 against us in the Garden?
I think so.
He kind of is given hell by Mikal, and I'm kind of okay with that.
The Knicks have now swept the Nuggets and the Grizzlies this season, but the media will never tell you that. I think the Knicks are clearly the 4th best team in the East. Or rather, the 4th best team in the league. Yeah, like, they beat the Grizzlies. They beat the Nuggets. They beat the Rockets once. We'll see what happens with the Lakers. But I think very clearly the Knicks are no worse than the 5th best team in the entire league. And I think they're closer to 4th than 5th.
Yeah, I mean, who would be 5?
I think right now 5 would probably be the Nuggets.
Yeah. I mean, it is really hard to like actually place the Knicks in a tier when they haven't beat any of the 3 best teams in the NBA, but I mean, they have they swept the Bucks so far, right?
Yeah, they swept the Bucks.
Won the season series against the Pacers. I think actually they might have lost the season series against the Pistons. We haven't played the West too often.
We played the Pistons one more time. We're down 1-2.
So it's 1-1. Oh, 1-2. Okay.
1-2.
Yeah, we swept the Grizzlies, or so far beat the Nuggets twice. Like you said, beat the Rockets. We beat the Wolves, who I mean I don't know how great that is, but like I don't know. The East isn't strong enough to really care about that type of stuff until we have to beat Boston, because I think a 7-game series in the playoffs is very obviously completely different than anything that can happen in the regular season in a singular game.
Yes.
Despite all of our struggles against both Boston and Cleveland, I think a team as smart and analytically inclined and hardworking and driven as the Knicks will just find a way to find chinks in the armor during a long series that will happen in the playoffs. So I don't really take any of these, like the season series, to heart. It's nice to get wins against the good teams in the West. But again, like not really taking anything against the. I believe it's 0-7 against the Thunder, Cavs, and
Yes.
Celtics this season. We'll just see what happens come playoff time. I think
Yeah,
the team
like
will just continue to build and meld and just get stronger as the season continues.
I do wonder, just the rim protection aspect of Mitch.
Yes.
I don't think people realize it's not just rim protection with Mitch, it's the fact that when guys feel they have support behind them at the rim, it makes you more aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
I think Prez had talked about it.
Yes.
Like Cat's bad defense kind of trickles down on everybody. The
It
fact that
makes.
Cat,
Go
sorry,
ahead. No.
the fact that Cat can't like backpedal. Like if you get Cat in the pick and roll, he can't backpedal. He can't recover. That's his biggest weakness as a defender, and
Mm-hmm.
it hurts everybody else because if you know Cat's gonna backpedal, then Mikhail can't really swarm, and you're just gonna like try to get Cat in action as much as you can. You can fix
Mm-hmm.
that with pre-switching, but we play drop.
Yep.
But even if you pre-switch, it's like then you have someone like a wing on Cat on an island, and that's like sometimes it works, and then sometimes you have a wing going for like a mini pull up like Shea, and then again Cat can't backpedal. The next having somebody who can backpedal makes their defense look so much better.
It puts so much strain on the wings because especially like OG, one, if we want to actually be, if we want to optimize our defense, he would probably be your point of attack guy on this current roster, right? If he's not, Mikhail's not as strong of a point of attack defender. OG one has to cover for Cat's defensive mistakes, and two has to cover for Mikhail getting constantly screened because of Cat's liability and drop. So it's just a giant compounding mess defensively. Um, do you think we'll start to see Mitch start with Cat in the next couple of games, or do you think it'll stay the starting lineup that we've seen this year?
No, I think he'll end up starting with Mitch. I think he's just getting his conditioning back, but I do think by the end of the season, Mitch is starting.
I mean, what's our schedule looking like? We
Uh,
play. Let's see. We play Miami on Sunday.
like
Yeah, we
it would
play
not
Miami.
surprise me if by like April. I think
Yeah,
April is probably when Mitch is going to be starting.
I could see like. Yeah, I think beginning of April. We play Philly on the 1st at home.
Yeah.
After, yeah, to start the
Or
month. I
actually,
think that could.
maybe April 2nd because they play the Cavs.
Yeah, deploy the two big lineup against Mobley and
And like at least see how
Allen.
it looks.
Maybe against Milwaukee on the 28th. I mean, I don't honestly have any indicators to go off of. Like it could be next game for all we know, but I think you're right in saying that he'll probably wait until Mitch's conditioning is a little bit better or stronger.
But yeah, like I think it's very clear that they have a desire to see that lineup and they want data on it. So
Yeah.
Morant with the game losing tech, love to see it. Oh yeah, I forgot about
Oh,
that.
shout out to John, man. Why did he do that shit?
That
Can
was so
you?
weird.
He's
In
just
the
a
fourth quarter, I understand. It's the third quarter.
he's just a. They were up like 7.
Yes, and you
Or
just gave them a free point.
yeah, I mean, no, I'm sorry, they were up 6. OG's free throw hit it to cut it to 5. They cut it to one possession. The following possession on a Shamit 2, and then tied the game on a 3 after. That was just such an odd decision.
Oh man, he just looks so off this season. Like I get like their motion offense is basically going away from like high pick and rolls,
Hmm.
but I think you're just really seeing like how much he requires a high pick and roll in order to be Ja Morant.
Yeah, I
And I think
mean,
you see the limitations with that compared to Brunson, who yes he likes high pick and roll, but Brunson can reject the screen, can get to like his mid range shot, can reject the screen, take a pull up three, and both of those are just as dangerous as him getting a screen and being able to go either left or right depending on how he's feeling. Like
yeah,
with Ja not getting a screen and he basically just has to create out of his own burst. It just looks very unimpressive.
it's really, yeah, it's really stark the contrast between his isolation creation and, like you said, his creation with picks because he's really he really leans on his getting downhill ability like through his burst. He uses the screen to get an advantage, but like it's so nice having a creator, a star, a superstar who can finally close out games and just get buckets in any way you need to. Like I think he's hit like 4 pull-up threes in the same exact manner he did tonight this season. It's been
Yes.
he did it against Houston, he did it against Philly 2 nights ago, and he did it against Toronto in Toronto.
I also would say there's one more, but I'm probably forgetting. Um, I think Tech had literally just put on the video, which is
Yeah, no, that's
hilarious.
what I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to remember what the fourth one was.
Um, but yeah, just very, very weird play from Ja.
He's just
I think they're gonna move him.
what are they even
I think they're gonna move him.
what are they even moving for though?
I
What do you
think
even
they want
trade for?
KD. I think they want KD.
Oh, that'd be so disgusting.
I would move him for KD, but
I
it's
would
weird
probably
because
move him
the
for
Suns
KD.
don't want Ja because they have Booker and they have unless you're trading Booker, then whatever you can do Ja.
Booker for Ja swap.
No, I mean like I'd probably like send Booker to Houston and then like if you're gonna trade KD, you swap out KD and Ja. Like
Yeah. I mean, because the salary kind of yeah, whoever Houston sent back, I mean, definitely have the salary to match, but like that's what you would look for. Book's been Houston's big fish target for a while.
yep. But yeah, like Ja just seems like it just kind of seems like they're moving away from Ja in terms of what they want in terms of their perimeter players, what they're prioritizing in their offensive schemes. Like their schemes are basically built to make someone like Jaren Jackson Jr. an All NBA caliber player, and Desmond Bain is like a really good ancillary piece.
And it's
They're
been
not
working.
maximizing Ja.
No. But like what they're doing has been working, right? I mean, Jaren's been all defense, all NBA level caliber. Desmond Bane's been a really, really nice like 1B, 2A piece, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
Um, but to your point, it's been really, really odd to see them move away from Ja in the manner that they have because it's really obvious that his style doesn't really meld with the overall makeup of the team anymore. I never really thought I'd see the day. I'll say that much.
yeah. Um, the only thing that Tibbs did that I disagree with bringing in Shaman when Harden is fifth outside of Brunson or Mitch. I thought Shaman had it going. I'm not
I
gonna
thought
lie.
he had to go on.
Like I think you reward a guy when that happens. You kind of just give him a little bit of rope and see how it goes. And I thought he played well enough to warrant it.
Yeah, he hasn't played like especially building on his performances recently. Who do you go over him? Like I don't. You need to give Jalen some rest.
Yeah,
I thought it
I
was
thought
fine.
I thought it was a good, a fine decision.
Yeah.
Um, Knicks go ahead 3 pointers down two in fourth OT tonight. Carmelo Anthony 4-12 versus Chicago. I'm pretty sure that's the Easter game. Steve
Yeah.
Francis 3-10-07 at Washington. Jamal Crawford 11-8-04 at Houston. Starks 2-18-97 versus Phoenix.
Is that 5 shots in Knicks history?
I guess so. I mean,
Eh,
pretty good
look at
list.
look at OG man. Can't even smile
Literally.
after the game winner.
Tips is known exactly when his seat gets hot in New York. Yeah, I agree. I think he has like a really good sense about it.
He's a funny ass guy, man.
Like somehow, some way, he just kind of knows.
Spidey senses go crazy. He's like, oh
But
shit. I actually have to. Hold on, let me pretend like I know how to coach basketball again. Does so. Nick, we rip off like it's usually like 13 out of 15 or like 18 out of 20 or like 18 out of 22, something like that. That'll happen going to the playoffs. We'll hit the 2 seed, win a first round series, Eastern Conference Finals. Us. Maybe we'll see a chip. Who knows?
I'm
Maybe I'm speaking
hopeful.
delusions, but I'm feeling pretty delusional right now.
These would definitely help. He's far, far best screen navigator. Yeah, I think that's a fair take.
I
Jonathan
don't.
Bus, just like Zion.
Ooh, is RJ the best out of the 3?
No,
No.
he has the most volume, and he's been the healthiest out of the 3.
It's funny because he's like a bottom 30 shooter in the NBA this year.
RJ?
Yeah.
RJ's actually been like a decent shooter, and I don't like RJ.
I mean, I
He's
don't
actually,
know. Hold on, let me peep
he's
this
at
this
like
metric down real quick.
36% of the season or whatever.
From 3.
35.
He is only at what? What's his true shooting? Is he sub 55 again?
He is
Because he's
50.
Gordon's
He's close to 56.
close to 56. I do not miss having to really fucking cope for 56 true shooting from that guy.
If he gave us 56 true shooting as a Knick, it would have been a national holiday. It was just never close. It was always 53. Like
it was 53, 52, 50 in his rookie year, I think.
yeah. What a time.
What a player.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's probably pretty much it in terms of talking about this game.
Yeah.
I think we play Miami on Sunday, right?
Yeah, Sunday at 6 o'clock against Miami.
All right.
I believe I'm also covering that game.
Sweet.
I might be on Postgame as well, so hope to see you guys there.
But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for hanging out. And we'll see you guys on Sunday. Peace.
Peace.